Joe Crivello here with Aces. I'm here with Aaron Saffle here, and he's in San Diego, California. Beautiful place. In fact, Aaron, I went to boot camp in Coronado. No, I went to boot camp in Florida. I was stationed in Coronado. I didn't go to boot camp in Coronado, but I lived in San Diego for 6 years. Beautiful, beautiful place. Today I'm interviewing Aaron. He did this job. It had a mouse infestation, silverfish, but it was like more than a few mice. And he's going to tell you the story and what he did with the chlorine dioxide and how it worked for him. So, Aaron, take it away, man.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Aaron Saffle. Out in San Diego, had a issue with there's a woman living by herself, and she just the social workers were, coming by, and they realized that it was so unsafe, so infested with mice and things like that, that even the social workers weren't allowed to go back. It was deemed unsafe for them. And the mice had gotten so bad that, you think, oh, a little mouse infestation. Every surface, like bed, couch, everything, all through the kitchen, whatever, was covered with mouse excrement. And the entire house smelled of that very strong ammonia smell. And the mice were so bad that they actually weren't afraid of people anymore. So they would just kind of walk up to you and just kind of look at you like, what are you doing here? And that's not good. So, and the silverfish were everywhere. It sounds like a hoarder house. Wasn't a hoarder house, right? It's just, it was let go too far. And so, we need to take care of this. And so I talked to Jim, and I got Jim's number through my father, Rick, who's been dealing with the system for a while. And I went in and I gassed it with a 500-gram system, and I sprayed it as well. And, I heard a lot of things, right? You hear a lot of stuff. Oh, this is, this works so well, right? You hear a lot of things in this life, and you're like, okay, if it helps out a little bit, I'll take it, right? And I did some research as well. I work in healthcare, and so I was looking at the science of it, and it seemed legit, right? But talk is cheap. So I went in and I did it, and we come back the next day. I just kind of let it do its thing, and walk in, smells almost completely neutralized. I think it would be more neutralized if I was able to clean more, but we weren't allowed to throw out stuff or whatever. But it was not only neutralized the smell, but the mice were gone, like gone. They weren't walking up. I didn't see them walking around, because you just see them out of the corners of your eyes too, just walking around. They were so bad they had ripped out the insulation of the stove. They had gone through the walls, so you could just see holes. Silverfish gone. The neighbors, an anesthesiologist and his wife, who's a nurse practitioner, they were saying, oh yeah, we noticed there's been a lot less spiders coming over, and which they were worried about because of their children. So, it was shocking, the change, because before we didn't even want to walk in there without a N95 mask on, and it was so bad. I actually had some vapor rub I would put underneath my nose. The smell was so bad, kind of like dealing with a dead body or something. And I was so shocked by it. I was like, I need to do this, because I work in these facilities, and MRSA's everywhere, and you just see this, and you go into homes and other things, you just have the smells, and you're like, well, if this deals with that, why don't I make money off that, right? So I got excited, and so I contacted Joe and Jim, and here I am.
So Rick, you're actually a respiratory therapist, so you deal with people's breathing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so, in fact, there's a lot of, allergens, to deal with, especially in chronic asthma and things like that. But also, toxic mold, just there's also COPD and other like emphysema and things where these people's airways are closing up, and any kind of irritant will cause not only more mucus to be produced, right, but also the smooth muscle in their lungs, the bronchioles, and they start closing up, and so they can't even get the mucus out properly if they're having that irritation, right? That's why they have to have all those MDIs, the meter dose inhalers, and things like that, right?
Yes.
You take all these medications just so they can cough stuff up, just so they can breathe properly, just so they can get that carbon dioxide out and good air in. And if this stuff helps out with that, that would be great. And you know, it's one of those things where you just see it and you're like, you know, you throw medications at people, and you know, half these people don't even understand what the medications are. They don't know how to use them properly, right? And especially a lot of these people are older folks who are getting a little confused anyway.
Yes.
And if you can make things easier for them, right, maybe you increase their quality of life, right? And that's the whole point, right? So I'm excited.
Well, I was excited to interview you on this because I haven't, like, we don't make any statements that we get rid of bugs and mice and things like that. We're not exterminators, but like if I can't be in there with it going, like, I'm going to leave, right? So yeah, they left.
Side benefit.
Like, I wonder where they went. Like, that's crazy. Where all these mice go? Like, out in the field, out in the streets, to that neighbor's house where she was worried about spiders. Like, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't in that person's house. Yeah, wipe your hands of it. So you went in there and asked. So have you been in contact with this person since you did the job and they haven't come back? Or
they're in a facility, nursing facility, because they can't take care of themselves anymore.
Yes.
But now that, you know, because now safely go in, you can clean the house and things like that, right? Because, and also too, once the person's gone, it's just going to get worse.
Yes.
Right, and so you want to stop that process to begin with. You know, maybe then her home can be sold, and you know, maybe you know, it'll help with paying for better care and things like that.
I agree. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate you coming on today. Hey, we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Thank you, Joe.
All right, brother. Later.